Good morning, everybody.
Good
Welcome
morning,
back.
everybody.
Good
Back
morning.
to Nostalgia Power. We are back after a week off. We were having some technical issues last week, and Zodwriter looks like you're still having some technical issues, but he is here. PD7 is off this week having some lawnmower problems, so we will truck on. Yeah, Stock Jockey could use a little more electric guitar, no AI rap. Yeah, well, kind of went down that rabbit hole a little bit with the AI. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning to everybody that's popping in. Hockey Town, Jay Pace, everybody getting up bright and early. And
Let's just be glad we all don't have lawnmower problems. That's all.
Yes.
Lawnmower problems are
lawnmowers
terrible.
could be awfully tricky, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
But
It can be emotionally distressing.
it could be. I wanted to start out today. I was going to tell you guys this before we got on, but I was like, you know what? This might actually be somewhat entertaining. I mean, I live out in the country here, and my wildlife adventures have been pretty well documented, with like the bear that I was having roaming around my front yard and hanging out on my front porch. And 2 years ago, and then last year I had the honeybees that the entire colony decided to take up residence here.
What do you got now? Locusts?
Oh, we got something else that just been started.
Man.
Over the last
God.
Here we go.
But believe me, this is much better than the previous two. So I have a family of foxes that has now decided to hang out at my house. So my wife noticed, it was like 2 or 3 days ago.
How
She
old?
texted me.
Are they are they blondes or brunettes?
The foxes, they're
It's okay.
Hold on, that deserves a
You'll have to excuse my friend. He's a little slow.
It's okay. It's early yet.
oh yeah, it's my monster kicked in. But in the backyard there were 3 baby foxes that were playing around, and I have a fairly big yard, and they were down by the woods. So it wasn't like they were like right up close to the house or anything. So they went away. 2 days later, I was in the kitchen yesterday. I look out the window, and there they are again. And this time, the mother fox is sitting out there. And this isn't like, this is like 3 o'clock in the afternoon that this is going on. And these foxes are just running around and playing in the yard. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought foxes were kind of like nocturnal creatures. But so last night, me and my son were sitting down here watching a movie, and my dog's down here. Right around the corner, right beside my NES shelf, is a big sliding glass door. And all of a sudden, the dog starts growling. And this is, probably like 8 o'clock at night. Sure enough, I open the curtain, I look out, and there's 2 baby foxes sitting on my back patio, like within 5 feet from the door. And over in the little play area that we have for my son, the mother fox is there. So they have now made their way up to the house. So, me, I'm like, I'm going to go outside and see if I can get a picture of them. So as soon as I walk outside, they start going berserk, and they all run, And then last night again, our security camera started going off in the front door. They were up by the front door around like midnight.
Really?
Yeah. So, and it's odd to me because, we've had a dog ever since we've lived here for 5 years that has done nothing but mark his territory. You would think that alone.
I had a German Shepherd, and he would do the same thing, but that didn't deter any animal. You would think, they would smell that, but we always had animals come through. Yeah.
I mean, like the bear, I kind of understood. Bears are pretty much at the top of the food chain. I mean, maybe not so much black bears, but the foxes, yeah, they don't care. And that's what, like, so now I want to ask you guys, like, should I be somewhat concerned? I mean, my dog's like,
It might be time to move, Mike. I mean,
well, foxes don't usually hang out near houses like that. I mean, they're I never seen them really come up near houses and stay near a house. Yeah,
that's why this was so bizarre to me, because I don't think I've ever seen a fox, like, aside from it like 2 o'clock in the morning, and you see a quick shadow running across the road.
Gotta watch those rabies.
Well, that's another thing. I'm like I said, I'm not really concerned of them attacking my dog, but because my dog is much bigger, like a single fox would be no threat to him. But what if it does have rabies, or what if all these babies grow up? I mean, one fox wouldn't be a problem, but maybe 4 or 5 of them might be.
Yeah.
Sounds like it would be a problem eventually.
My dog took out a possum and a groundhog one time.
Really?
Yeah. The worst thing they did was he came out into the yard, and this was 2 different separate occasions, and the groundhog, instead of running, he stood up on his hind legs like he wanted to fight him. And that was a bad mistake. Move. Yeah.
See, against a German
he squared up to him. Yeah. It was
my
not
dog,
good.
He's a golden retriever. I mean, he's as gentle as can be. I mean, he likes to chase. But that's what I'm wondering. Like, if one of these animals that he chased just decided to, like you said, square up to him, it's not
a good thing. Yeah, no. if they do that,
he'll chase deer around.
Oh yeah.
They run and everything. But I'm like, what if he gets a buck that's in a mood or something like that one day?
Oh, that instinct kicks in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're very mercurial. Don't seem to stay in one place for more than a split second. Dude, these things have been hanging out here for just going on 3-4 days now.
Jay,
when I saw him in the
watch that language on this show, will you?
Yeah.
Mercurial.
Yeah, I already said nocturnal. Like, what's going on here? Like, what do we?
Don't use that kind of language.
This is way too many syllables in these words.
This ain't Cambridge University.
Wow.
So that's what I mean, hey, believe me, I'll take this over the bees or over the bear. Because a bear, here we go.
Oh, here you go. Oh my God.
See?
Sorry guys, it's only my face you're gonna see. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Hey, you want to?
Why this happens?
Actually, here's a funny story. Being that you bring up foxes, my mom lives in like an older community, and she used to have a Sheltie, a little small collie, like a miniature collie.
Yeah.
And she would let the collie out the back door, but one day. 2 times the collie went to the house next door and sat at his front door, but then he came back. So then twice he did this. So the neighbor came to my mother and said, "You won't believe this. There was a fox sitting at my door the other night." And my mother knew exactly what it was. It was her dog, but he thought it was a fox because it did kind of look like a fox.
Yeah, and the collies are kind of small.
Yeah, and he just had that look,
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. I'm like, maybe they'll think my dog, he's a golden retriever, but he's like dark red, almost the same exact color as one of those foxes. I'm like, maybe he can, they'll take him in as one of their own or something.
It is a little odd that they're just hanging around there, though.
I know.
Yeah.
So there was probably at least, I thought there was 3 babies, but last night after seeing 2, there's probably at least 5.
It's fox season.
See. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if they if they hang around. Maybe
put your Elmer Fudd hat on and go hunt them.
Yeah, I do need to get one of those.
Yeah,
the Woodland Stories with Mike. Yep, that it's better than bears or bees, I guess. Right?
I don't know.
Apparently, these things. I don't know. Next thing I know, all the babies are going to be sliding down my kid's slide. They'll be out there swinging on the swings. I don't know. Did you ever see those videos where like grizzly bears will get in somebody's pool and they're like,
I just seen one. I just seen when he was ringing the doorbell. He kept ringing the bell.
Or bears will get into they'll go up to convenience stores and open the doors and go in and just decide to help themselves.
They're smart little things.
Yep. But the foxes, I mean, and they have like a very high pitched chirp.
Yeah, they do. They're not like dogs that don't.
No, it's not really a bark.
It's weird.
Jay said, what does a fox say? Yeah, it's like a chirp or a screech. Because as soon as I walked outside yesterday, they all started chirping and they took off running. And I thought that might be the end of them. I'm like, okay, they know somebody's here now.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, they were back last night around midnight.
Good Lord.
Actually, yeah. Doesn't PD7, he has that fox that he talks to all the time, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
And, although that one doesn't move,
Hey, you're starting to have a nature sanctuary out there.
Seriously,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, well, this is
You should
more
apply for
disgusting,
tax-free status because you're just like you have a farm now.
yeah, unwanted. There's deer in my backyard all the time.
Yeah.
There's like 30 turkeys that come through all the time.
There you go.
Groundhogs, rabbits.
Yeah.
I mean, I was having a mouse problem the past couple weeks too. I didn't want to share that. It's not like I'm dirty or anything.
Oh no. Well, you probably have a lot of field mice, right? I have a lot of field mice. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a couple of those. I had one that was camping out in the bottom drawer of my oven, and I hate that so much.
Oh yeah.
Because you can hear them rattling around in
Yeah.
there, and anytime you try to go and get him, he'll jump out and go hide somewhere else. It's ridiculous. It's like you just have to wait for him to die because you put the traps out. And
that's kind of I within the past 3 weeks, I think I caught 7 mice, which
Wow.
most of them were babies.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Wow.
they were all babies.
I told you this story one time, right? Back in the day when my wife and I first got married, we were living in an apartment, and a mouse got in, and she was like going crazy about this mouse. And all of a sudden, it was in the pantry, and she goes, "There it is, there it is!" She starts yelling. So the first thing that hit me, I just grabbed a can of something to spray it, and I didn't realize it was Easy Off. And I sprayed the poor thing with Easy Off. The thing was squealing like crazy. The hair was coming off it. It's terrible.
My God.
It was terrible.
I'm surprised it stayed there long enough for you to get close enough to spray it. Because
the pantry we
I
have.
even move anywhere near where the mouse is at, the mouse would just scurry away so quickly. There was no time to even try to catch.
No, what had happened was this pantry was like this. It was only for a couple of cans. So when he got in there underneath, he made the mistake of going up by cans that was on there, and he had nowhere to go when I flipped the door open, So he was sitting right there on the shelf.
I didn't have anything except for a can of hairspray and a lighter, so I just
It was terrible.
Well,
the screaming.
That's pretty graphic. Well, I had nothing, I caught the mother mouse because it was this real big fat one, and I thought that was the end of it until I came home from work and I started seeing all these little teeny ones, these little babies. So, and they didn't know what to do. They're like you, they just froze when they saw me, and I had nothing but a hockey stick. That was the closest thing. And no, I didn't sit there and just hack them to pieces. No, I did not. I scooped them up with the stick.
Nice.
And kind of flung them into the woods,
You have morals.
But see, that's what I mean. I wouldn't mind doing that if I could catch them. I wouldn't mind taking it and flinging it into the woods. I mean, I've had ones where they would die, and then you would just cover your hands and pick them up and fling their carcass out into the grass or the woods or whatever. But yeah, man, I can never catch them. That's my problem.
Yeah, I was surprised. Luckily these, like I said, these ones were so small. They were small enough to where I don't think they really knew what to do at all. So I was able to wrangle them up with a stick and get them out of the house. Yeah, I didn't want to be that barbaric.
Well, at least they didn't get mixed up with the fish sticks or the fish sticks or the cheese curds or anything. I mean,
yeah. Well, saying it wasn't a ghost at that point, but it is now.
It is now.
It happened quickly.
Yeah, and who knows, those babies that I saved, and I may have condemned them anyways by just throwing them outside when they probably weren't ready, but they can't be in here, that's all I know.
That's what I always say.
So that's true.
That's
you kind of seal your fate when you come into the house.
That's pretty much it. Yep. Yeah. Spiders, bugs.
Yeah, because you don't want, because that's the thing. You don't want to kill anything, but sometimes you don't have any choice. It's kind of like
Well, it's like any home intruder. Enter at your own risk.
So yeah, guys out there, if you need any sort of medical advice or now wildlife advice, we're your place.
That's right. 1-800.
We can handle all of it.
Yep.
So to get a little bit back, more on subject, anyways, I stumbled across this, and since I'm a huge NES collector, obviously, and all of us are big retro game players. This is the they call this the Holy Grail. This is the Nintendo World Championship. I'm sure you guys know about this game, right? The contest that was held. Well, the gold cartridges are the ones that were the most highly sought after. They were given out to all the participants in the contest in the finals. Well, there's one listed on eBay. Where do you see this listing?
We don't even know if it's real.
Well, that's the thing. Look at the price tag on this.
Get out of here.
This guy listed the NES World Championship gold cart, now graded 8.5 from WATA, and take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
We've heard a lot about those
people
hiking their grades up.
I don't know. Something about that looks like a reproduction.
I mean,
yeah, it does.
Shiny and flawless.
Because it's too freaking clean to be real.
No, it literally looks like the cartridge looks like it was spray painted.
Yes.
Like it looks odd.
Well, this guy has a starting offer, or at least a best offer, of $2.5 million. And
no, come on.
So, which leads me to this question: if you're putting something up there for $2.5 million, why the hell are you even listing it on eBay? Because there's only a handful of people in the world that would ever buy this cartridge, and it's nobody.
No,
like us. You know what I mean?
It's almost like it's a delusion on a level that is so vast that it's almost incomprehensible at this point.
Yeah.
You'd have to be brain dead to even consider something like this.
And I wonder, and I know that there has been gold cartridges that have sold for in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think the last one I saw sold was over 200,000 is what it went.
But that was probably a real cartridge. This one probably fake.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously claim it to be real.
I mean, I've seen repros that look like this. That's why I'm saying I don't trust
I have a repro on my shelf of the gray cartridge.
Can you imagine though?
$80 for.
Could you imagine having that kind of cash and you're like, all right, let me whip open my PayPal and buy this.
I'm wondering what he would sell it for.
Freaking,
you know what I mean? Like,
obviously, it's crazy.
He's a local pickup from Diamond Bar, California. So the guy's out in California. So if anybody's out there in California,
I just don't see a $2,500,000 item going on eBay.
No. Like, can you imagine all the legal
what's the purpose
nonsense
of this?
that would have to go on for something like a transaction like that?
Exactly.
Even if you offered him half, $1 million.
I wonder what eBay's take on that would be.
Oh God.
Oh my Lord.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
So that's that in alone in itself is sketchy. The fact that it's something for this amount listed on eBay.
And if you had that kind of money, I mean, would you really even chance it?
No,
who would chance that?
Who's shopping on eBay?
Exactly. It's got that kind of money.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Deciding to want to buy this game.
God. It's almost, it's like, how do you even consider something like this? Even if you had the money to buy it, you wouldn't buy it through there. You'd want to go somewhere else where it's reputable and you could actually physically inspect it and look at it. And I don't know.
Yeah. I'll just
crack it open. I mean, if I'm going to spend
debit card information, $2.5 million, and then hope this thing arrives in the mail, right?
Yeah, that's the other part.
You find out that it's a spray painted fake, and the thing is that he's banking on the fact that if you're paying that kind of money for it, you're not going to crack it open.
Right.
You're just
that's right.
As is.
Yeah, that's right.
There's only two pictures. Usually when you have these expensive games, they'll have the game apart. They'll have pictures of the board, the serial numbers, everything.
Yeah, it's sketchy.
Maybe it's a joke. And it's brand new condition. That right there gives it away. There are no brand new condition
these things are
versions of these available.
Yeah.
40 years old almost.
It's brand new. Yeah, if you make it, you made it with his 3D printer and his spray paint gun. I mean,
it says make an offer.
He's been up there for a few weeks. Should I make an offer?
Yeah, $1.50. Give him $1.
$15.
I give you $15.
Well,
imagine losing a PayPal dispute for $2.5 million. Yeah.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
That's the other thing. PayPal. I wouldn't trust PayPal either. PayPal.
No.
sketchiest companies ever. It's like you're talking about like.
I don't really trust any of them. PayPal. What's the other one too?
No.
Someone told me to pay through a Venmo. I don't go for Venmo either.
No, I would never trade it. No,
we're all at the poverty line compared to this guy, I guess. For real.
Oh yeah.
2.5 million.
Well, and they claim that I think there was only 32 or so of these made, or something like that. And I think there's only.
And he just happens to have a brand new one.
There's only 60 of them that are known to exist. All the other 16 are buried in some old lady's attic somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know many gamers that would have that kind of money.
No, nobody. Right.
No.
You're looking at a very select group of people.
And I bet
none of those guys aren't shopping on eBay.
I bet you I could go on Etsy and find somebody to make me one of these that'll look exactly like it, and it'll cost me $35.
Yeah.
Well, if I was prepared, guys, I would have my gold or my gray copy off my shelf, and I could show it right now and how identical it looks. Like it has the dip switches on it and everything. Like it looks exactly the same. And for me, that's obviously good enough, because as much as I would love to complete my collection,
we'll make it gold, and then put it on eBay for $500,000.
You could. So there's that one. And
$500,000, Mike.
That was too rich for your blood.
Yeah, it was $500,000 over my budget.
Yeah. All right, I can do it, but no.
Yeah.
In case you wanted the gray one, if you didn't want the gold one.
Holy Grail! Holy cow!
This one's only $175.
Pow!
Wow, now we're talking to Mike.
Yeah, we're getting a little more realistic.
Now it's getting real. Yeah.
Oh God, the FOMO is creeping in now.
Yeah, now it is.
It's like, again, oh God,
this is from the same seller, but there's only
PayPal.
Again, only a front and a back. No inside of the cartridge or anything like that.
You'd have to be insane,
right,
to even consider any of these. It's like people. I wonder. I bet there's no way it sells. There's no way. No freaking way.
It can't be. Well, I know that gold one's been listed for at least a month.
Yeah, that gold one's not going nowhere. That gold one is gonna. Yeah.
If I needed a heart tomorrow, and that heart was the one I needed for that price, I would say, no, I ain't buying it.
You know what? I'll see you in the next life.
Oh yeah, forget about it. That's just ridiculous.
Go on AliExpress and order a gold repro of the one that's 2.5 million, and
yeah, you could get them for, nice ones. Like I said, mine comes with like a little card that they gave out, the certificate if you took place in this tournament.
Okay, Mike, why don't you get it graded from WADA and put it on eBay for some ridiculous price and see if somebody bites, man. That's you could always just get another one.
Yeah. Well, here it is. This is probably what you were just talking about. It's a repro. See if I can pull it up. Yeah, it has like the instruction book, the box, a card for $225. That's still kind of crazy, but you get all the goodies with it. And yeah, maybe this one in particular doesn't look.
Yeah, it doesn't look authentic enough to even spend $250.
No, not that.
If you were going to spend, I would say you could spend $250 if it looked really authentic.
Yeah,
authentic enough to fool Weta. You could,
Yeah, so there you go.
It's not a big deal. You spend $225 and you turn around and sell it for $2.5 million. I think you made a great investment.
I know. I wish something like that was out in my area, because I would love to talk to the person in person. Because if you're making any sort of a deal like that, you would think
you'd be like, listen, scumbag, I know that's a repro for two reasons. One, there was only two pictures. And two, I've seen them on AliExpress, and they look just like that, dude. Okay, I can get it off AliExpress for $32. Probably be a little bit expensive to ship because of the tariffs, but otherwise, 2.5 million. Get out of here.
I mean, it would even possess you to list or something like that,
He's just hoping there's a sucker that's gonna buy it so he can.
I mean, is that all? Yeah, like he's just like literally just trying to sell it. I mean, I didn't really look into it, so maybe he has it posted all over the place. But
well,
every once in a while,
we'll say in spirits. I'll make sure you get 2 copies of Samira's Wonderland so that you can sell one of them and keep one of them, because the physical copies there's going to be a very limited supply of them.
And MG, I didn't get another link. If you sent me a link, I didn't get it. God only knows what the link is for, but I had to share that with you guys. I thought that was
crazy.
Somewhat, that was kind of appropriate and just mind blowing in itself.
That is mind blowing. That's almost like it makes me believe that we really do live in a computer simulation. It's stuff like that that's like, just like so nonsensical that you're just like, really? Like, this can't be reality. This can't be real. Real.
You have to meet and meet up in a parking lot. Yeah. Behind
the Burger King, or the abandoned McDonald's. The abandoned McDonald's that's now a Wendy's getting ready to close.
Yeah. The midnight deal. I'll meet you in the back.
Whoever decides to go. I mean, believe me, I would love to own that. But obviously, unless I get extremely lucky and just happen to stumble across one at like a garage sale because somebody is just throwing out
some old lady. You'll find a box in her attic, and it'll be a bunch of goofy Nintendo games, and most of the games will be the run of the mill ones that you can get anywhere, right? But then you'll find that one. It'll be in there, and it'll be a gold card.
They're out there. I was just watching this show. This guy, he went to, what do you call those, antique store or whatever.
Like pawn shop or something.
Yeah, and he bought an old picture, a small picture. It looked like from the Old West or something. It's black and white. And you couldn't see anything. It was basically just a house. But there were people in it, but they were so tiny he couldn't see it. So he put it under a microscope. He had a feeling that it was showing something. Well, anyway, when he looked at it, he recognized the person right away. It was Billy the Kid in the picture, along with all the other gang members. And they were playing polo. Not polo. What was that? Cricket. And, so he knew it was Billy the Kid. Now, there's only one picture of Billy the Kid in existence. So this would be the only second picture. So he started telling a lot of historians and stuff, and they didn't believe him. They said, there is no other picture of Billy the Kid. There's only one picture. So he said, but I'm telling you, that's Billy the Kid. So long story short, it turned out to be Billy the Kid in the picture, and he bought the picture for $2. It went for $5 million. So you can still get deals. I mean, you can still find them.
Out there. They're just few and far between anymore. I mean, that's where, I don't know if you can see it behind me, but that CRT TV right there, that's an old NES Sharp TV. I don't know if you guys know if you've heard anything about those or know anything about them, but it's a TV that was made by Sharp that has a Nintendo built into it. I actually pulled up a listing of it. It's this thing right here. That's where I got that. My brother-in-law, he installs like electronic equipment and stuff in home stereo systems and for a living. And some old lady had this in her house and wanted it gone. She's like, this is my son's from 30 years ago. Do you dispose of these old things? And he sent me a picture. He's like, you have any idea what this thing is? And do you want it? And I was like, yes, get it over here. ASAP. I mean, and these things alone, like, you see what they're asking for these things, a couple $1,000.
I'm always afraid
better condition than this.
I'm always afraid to pick up electronics from people, though, because I don't know. I'm afraid there's like critters inside.
Yeah, there could be.
you know,
or rocks.
Yeah, or rocks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, mine's in pretty pristine condition. But that's what that TV is back there. It's this thing here, and they said somebody was just they literally were going to pay him to take it away.
Well, that's because everything is a scam, so you have to be careful.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to do?
People suck today. They all suck. Society's going down.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And that's
bunch of scumbags.
Bunch of misery.
Yeah, it's made collecting this stuff not nearly as fun as it should be or as it used to be. Because everybody's out there just to price gouge you.
Yeah, ass hat spray paint carts. I mean, it's ridiculous now.
2.5 million.
Get a Home Depot spray can going.
If he gets it, I mean,
he's got another 6 of them in his basement.
Yeah,
he's got an assembly line.
He's drying 4 of them right now.
But they got the dip switches.
Yeah.
Oh
man.
Well, if there's somebody out there that actually will buy that from him,
people are so horrible. No wonder AI is going to eliminate.
Yes,
it's ridiculous.
Sickening. This is where we've come.
This world sucks.
That's right, Jay. People are the worst. I'm starting to root for the AI droids now.
I am too. Like getting starting to become like
better.
Yeah.
I'm like an accelerationist. Like, yes. Wipe them out, all of them. I don't even care.
Done with
it. Yo.
Done with it. Oh man.
I'm trying to pull up another MG. He did send me a link. It was another, basically a gold repro.
Oh yeah.
And of course my stuff's not working.
Well, it's like I saw they're
selling for like $250. Now
I saw like
the one that we saw
events, and it was pretty
yeah.
Interesting.
I imagine that one. It probably is real. I mean, you would have to think if not, he would have been reported or something by now. But I guess there's really no way to prove it.
Not if it's sealed like that and graded. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And that's why they don't have the pictures of the car or the board or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, hey, if you want to just assume that it's legit and offer the guy, I mean, even if he took $500,000, which he might take that. That's still, you're not.
Yeah, it's like Jesse just said. He's making 4 of them in his basement. So yeah, he can take 500,000.
Yeah,
sure.
He's still making a heck of a profit on the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it cost him 12 cents to make it, so he's coming along.
And he's been huffing paint for a week, so he's really not in his right mind.
Sniffing a shirt.
Yeah. Oh man.
Passing it around to his kids. Here, you sniff it too.
We're gonna be rich.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Don't worry, I got stadium events upstairs. We're all good. You need another $1 million?
Oh God.
Wow.
Well, do you guys ever buy anything off eBay?
Not really.
Yeah. Last time I bought something off the eBay like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 4.
Yeah, I can't even remember the last thing I bought. I think I know what I bought for the Outrun cabinet, the Ferrari logo.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. Nothing major.
Retro
I would never
530,
trust.
I buy a lot of mod stuff off of them for my cabinets, and
Yeah.
they have an eBay store. Like a lot of those smaller businesses will have eBay shops where you can buy.
Yeah, I don't trust anything of any major value off of eBay. Plus, first of all, even if it is legit and you're buying something like they price gouge everything. So
Yeah,
if it's something
that's
like,
what
you're looking for a toy or something like that, that's not out anymore.
Yep. And like if you're looking for these new releases for figures that they're bringing out, and you can't find them, you'll find them on eBay, and then they're listed for double, 2-3 times what they.
Well, that's like that Darth Vader that I have right here.
Yeah.
He's going for like $1,000 or $1,200.
Yeah, you have to really want it and really be desperate for it at that point if you're going to pay what they overcharge on eBay. Like, yeah, your Darth Vader. I've seen it go for quite a bit, Jesse. I mean, I just happened to see it on eBay not too long ago, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because they bought them all up because they knew it was going to be a limited thing. So it was $300. It was only $300 when I bought it, and they're selling it for $1,200. It's crazy.
MG, why don't you come over to my house whenever it shows up? We could play it together.
Yeah, well, I mean, my thing is, if you're gonna pay that much money, are you gonna crack it open and like put it in your Nintendo, or are you gonna leave it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, so like, who's gonna open it up and check the board and all that after they spent $2.5 million?
I guess this is how I would do it. If in theoretical world, if I were to buy that game, I would obviously clearly have to see the board first before I bought it. I would never buy it on eBay. That you have zero brain if you do something like that. But yeah, I would have to see the board in person and have somebody else, a third party, verify that it is official, authentic, 100%. Every single circuit in that thing is exactly the way it was. And then I would bring it home, and I would probably never open it again, never touch it, never play with it. Probably be locked in a safe, honestly, a fireproof safe.
But then you'd have to think to yourself, though,
was it worth?
If you make that kind of an investment, are you going to be able to resell that investment down the road?
Probably not.
Yeah, it's
probably not.
It's like all these. It's like all the arcade machines behind Jesse. Are you going to be able to like resell those and get a return on your investment? Not really. So if you buy something like that, you're buying it because you want to keep it and you want it in your collection because you really aren't going to be able to sell it.
Well, I just told my daughter, I said, when I die, I said, you got a lot of work on garbage day to get rid of all this stuff,
Yeah.
So.
My poor son, he's going to need to get a tractor trailer in here and send it all right to the dump.
Sawzall it all.
That's it. Just hack everything.
Sawdust. Fertilizer.
Yeah, fertilizer.
I don't know. I hope this
wood chipper
value. It probably won't. You'd like to think that it would just continue to get more rare and more rare.
I don't know because the retro community is really just us. So once we're kind of past,
even physical media is starting to turn into a thing.
Like literally a handful of people, maybe 250 to 300 people tops. That's the whole community. It's like.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, that is true saying. I guess that Burger Time, some of those cabinets, they are.
Yeah, the Burger Time.
Worth the money right now, but in 10 years, are they going to be worth anything, Is that fad going to be long past? And who knows? But you know what? As long as you eat.
Hey, I like
having these in your house, just like dates you. And just imagine when a few years down the line and it's just like you still have these antiques like in your house, like they're
Zod, I don't need arcades to date me. You just have to look at my face.
I got enough gray
that dates myself.
Well, you actually look younger than some of the machines behind you, bro, so don't worry about that. It's like those, like some of those machines, it's like, yo.
Yeah, well, I guess
arcade went up for you.
Well, that's why if you walked in my basement, this is everything that I would have loved to have had in probably between 1985 to 1995 time frame. That's
could you imagine? Yeah, but think of that. When we were kids, though, this would have been like,
Oh my God, yeah. If I would have,
this would have been heaven.
In this basement when I was about 10 or 11 years old.
Like, think if you were the only one that had these, and everyone was still playing like back in the day, like Atari 2600s and stuff, and you actually had this where it was identical to the well, not identical, but the gameplay was pretty much identical to the arcade.
You would be the coolest person.
Oh my god,
ever.
Yeah. But like that guy on Silver Spoons. Remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that show? Or was that before your time?
Oh yeah. You remember Silver Spoons? He had the Frogger arcade.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the house.
Yeah.
And he had the train that went all the way around.
The train. Yeah, well, they were rich, right? That was the whole thing.
That was a fun show. Yeah.
Yeah. Meatball makes a great point, though. If it's still fun in 10 years, then clearly it was all worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great
I don't
point.
see myself going in 10 years. Boy, what the hell was I thinking spending all that money?
I was just gonna ask that, Meatball. Yeah. Ricky Schroeder. Mm-hmm. I couldn't think of his name.
That guy's name.
You read my mind.
I just remember that Edward Stratton was the father, right?
Yes.
And then
that's good, Zod.
And then the girlfriend was Kate. Remember Kate, the girlfriend that he dated. I
do remember him dating, but it's vague now.
Yeah. She was and then the neighbor was Dexter, and he remember he dated Whitney Houston for a couple episodes.
I did not remember that. No.
It was pretty
wait, for a couple of episodes in the episode
episodes.
Or in real life?
No, in the episodes, in the show.
Wait a minute, I don't remember Whitney Houston being on there.
Yeah, she was on there. She had a couple of a small appearance.
Really?
She was on there, like a couple episodes. She was dating that guy. It didn't work out, but they were, because she was playing herself in the show.
Okay.
They were, and it was just
Was that must have been in the later episodes then?
I want to say it was probably it was had to have been like the later seasons, like towards the end of the show.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I googled it. It says yes, Whitney Houston did make a guest appearance on the TV sitcom Silver Spoons in 1985. Saying here she may have only appeared in one episode though.
2.
That sound about right? Okay. This is just me googling it real quick. She definitely was in it. Yeah, 1985.
So that must have been what, second or third season? Maybe third season, because I know that show started in the early 80s, right?
Yeah.
80,
the early 80s.
2?
Yeah, that is true saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but actually, I kind of felt bad that the relationship didn't work out, because they actually had pretty good chemistry on the show. The actor and the.
I don't know. Is that? Can you guys answer that question? The guy who played Carlton in Fresh Prince, was he in Silver Spoons? I can't think of the guy's name though.
Yeah, he would have been. He would have been a kid. He would have been a young kid.
Yeah. What the hell was his name? What? I can picture his face. I think he hosts.
I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name. His real life. I don't remember his name now. But
he rubs me the wrong way. Kind of. I don't know why.
Does he?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
like a schemer.
He just acts pompous. Like, I don't know. It's very pompous sounding.
Like his real life personality.
Yeah. Oh, that's his name.
With.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks,
kind
Liz.
of.
Carl
right.
Alfonso Ribeiro.
I mean, is he one of those? What do they call that? Like a typecast or something? That will he always be?
Oh wait, Alfonso was the son of the guy that dated Whitney Houston. Alfonso was Ricky Schroeder's best friend on the show.
So he was in there then.
So was that Carlton? I didn't know that was Carlton, but yeah, I do remember Alfonso for sure.
Maybe it was.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I've learned through doing this that most of the time the chat is usually correct.
Yeah.
These guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I remember that though. But I used to watch that show, and I liked it a lot. Like in recent years, I'd gone back and watched it, rewatched some of the episodes. You know.
Yeah, I don't remember them as well as you do, but
well, that's because I watched it. I watched some of the episodes.
Yeah,
not too long ago. I rewatched like a handful of episodes. I sometimes I'll like download an entire because you can go on the Internet Archive and you can download like old TV shows. You'd be surprised some of the stuff they got on the Internet Archive, Jesse. I mean, if you like old stuff, it's insane. You could download entire archives of the show. It's like a library. You could download them and watch them, and then
Well, now I'm intrigued about the Whitney Houston episode. I want to see that now.
Yeah, you got to see it. It's really cool.
Yeah,
that's when her album came out. And Saving All My Love for You was a real popular song because they actually used it in the show. And good episode.
I was into Whitney Houston.
Good episode. I think there was, but I swear I think she was in 2 episodes, but maybe she was only in 1. But I could swear it was 2. But yeah, you definitely want to check it out, Jesse.
I'm definitely gonna.
Especially if you liked Whitney Houston, that was her. That was her in her prime when she actually looked gorgeous and she sounded amazing.
Yeah, her voice was incredible.
It was so cool. Yeah.
Guys, it wouldn't
she's
be.
She's not Kelly Clarkson, but she's still pretty cool.
No, well, she's up there.
Hey, for
she's
1985, right?
Right, 1985. It's yes, sir.
We got to at least touch on this. I know, this has kind of been a thing for a little while.
Krispy Kreme Donuts was selling Pac-Man. Pac-Man themed donuts for the 45th anniversary.
They looked amazing. I didn't.
I know they were just super expensive. I was ready to buy like a 6-pack just to have them. I was like, man, could I preserve these in some ways instead of eating them because they look amazing?
Yeah. But I'm sure we all got the notifications and the emails that the arcade went up releasing their sales for the Pac-Man cabinets. But it's weird about Pac-Man. Like, was Pac-Man? Would you consider that like the first real like major mainstream video game?
Pac-Man fever, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of has to be, and I kind of find it ironic that Pac-Man it pretty much built up the video game market, at least over in North America. But then it almost killed it too because of the it directly led to the video game crash in 1983 because of that horrible Atari 2600 port.
Yeah, but I don't remember as many people talking about how bad it was back in the day when it first came out. I mean, they talk about how bad it is now, but
yeah, and I've read that same thing. Like,
we
were just happy to be able to.
We were just happy to play it, really,
at home. But
exactly.
I think it kind of holds its place in like infamy now for being such a bad game. But that was a Pac-Man game. That was the Pac-Man that I grew up with.
But you got to remember too, we were very used to bringing games home, and we knew that they weren't going to be the arcade. We knew that they were just never going to look like the arcade.
Yeah.
So
not many of them even were. And
no.
They have done better with that Pac-Man game? Yeah, I'm sure they could have because they released Mrs. Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man a few years later or a year or two later. It was a much better port.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
especially on the Atari 2600.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, like and I think people have made like homebrew versions of Pac-Man that could play on the 2600 and.
That are closer to the arcade. Yeah.
I mean, I think it was one of those things where they were just rushing to get a game out there. They had like 6 weeks or something to put it out.
I remember playing that as a little kid. My mother even got into it. My mother loved it on the Atari.
My mother was the same when it came to the Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Her and my neighbor, they used to have tournaments across, my neighbor across the street, they would have Pac-Man tournaments, and my mother and the neighbor, they would go back and forth and fight. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome, Jesse.
My mother got into the Atari 2600 more than me and my brothers did. She was sitting in front of that thing so much,
Yep.
I always find that funny now.
See, my mom loved Pac-Man and Space Invaders.
Yeah, so did mine.
She really liked Miss Pac-Man when that came out. That became her game. Yeah.
Yeah. MG, I think MG is right. But like Pac-Man, I think I guess what I meant by that was like Pac-Man was the first recognizable brand maybe or character. Like because before like Space Invaders, Asteroids, Galaxy, and all those games, they really didn't have like a face to their franchise, right? Like Pac-Man did. Like everybody knew.
Oh yeah,
Pac-Man
actually,
was everywhere. TV show, a serial.
Actually, my mother, I'll bring it on the show one time. My mother just found a picture that I drew in elementary school of Pac-Man, but not. Yeah, but the other Pac-Man with the feet.
Oh
yeah. So
they have it on the posters and stuff like that.
Right. So that brings you to the point that how big. Now, I never drew any other video game character in elementary school except for Pac-Man. So I guess that's how big it really was.
Yep.
My mom used to go to ceramics and with a bunch of her friends, and I remember one day she made me a Pac-Man piggy bank. And it looked awesome. I wish I still had it to this day because it looked really great. Like it was really, the yellow was like the perfect shade of yellow, and it was
cool.
Very detailed.
Well, back then, piggy banks were a big thing too.
Yeah.
That was another big thing. Everybody always had a piggy bank.
Right. In some shape or form. I don't think I had one that was actually a piggy. I don't remember. I can't remember. I think you know what
I had the Pac-Man one, and then I had an R2D2 one. My mom had made both of them in ceramics.
This just popped into my mind, and I haven't thought about this in years. It was a big giant Tootsie Roll tube, because I think I had got it for like my birthday or something, and it was full of Tootsie Rolls at one point. But you took the lid off; it had a little slot in it. And it was served as a bank.
The slot was at the very end.
Yeah, it was like it like doubled as a bank.
Yeah.
I had that for years.
I had a pretty cool one. It was a box, and you just put the quarter on the top, and this little hand would come out and grab the quarter and bring it back in, and take it in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like a creepy hand, kind of like what's that guy on Addams Family? Thing.
Oh, Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some change in that Tootsie Roll bank, at least. What's this here? This Super Pac-Man Party Cave with Litmore keys still available with free crazy deal with Ocean State Job Lot if you have a store in your area. Wait, you got the? Am I reading this right? Like you got the Party Cave for free? Am I reading that?
That would be awesome.
Because, we all know that
I'm confused easily.
Helicopter.
Yeah.
That guy is awesome. I love it.
Oh my God.
He's so funny.
Yes. That is my rip-off of Batman is a rip-off of Pete Holmes ripping off Batman.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you remember that, Jay? Yeah, it was pretty cool. I love that thing.
You had to pay for it, then get a gift card for $300. Oh, so it's kind of like a Kohl's Cash kind of thing where you could, if you bought your cabinets at Kohl's, you'd get all this money and then could use it for free stuff somewhere else. But that's cool, though. If you could do that and it actually pays for the cabinet itself.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Well, that's it for the Pac-Man.
Yeah, what's that Batman's name? That the guy who does that?
Pete Holmes.
Yes, Pete Holmes.
Yep.
Like when he was interviewing.
Oh my God! Yeah, he was firing the whole Justice League.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great when he was firing everybody. Yeah.
That guy is very underrated.
Yeah, if anybody in the chat hasn't watched any of those,
and the look on his face, and the expressions he makes when he's firing people,
it's awesome. It is awesome.
The best one because he's kind of like the Christian Bale. Batman.
Yeah.
So when he sat down with the updated new Batman and the Robert Pattinson Batman,
yeah,
they were just sitting there staring at each other like. He's like, I'm the new fresh Batman.
It's awesome.
The Robert Pattinson Batman was like allergic to something, or like he had like allergies and.
Yeah. He's I'm gluten free. No, that was John Holmes. That would be John. Pete Holmes is John Holmes' brother. No, I don't. No, they're not. But is this a troll comment or Peacemaker season 2?
No, not at all.
I didn't think so. Guys, let's take a quick commercial break. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good.
We'll come back, and we do have to talk about some of these god awful reboots and remakes that they've been forcing down our throats. So
yes,
just hang tight for a couple minutes, and we will be right back.
And now these messages.
Detroit, the near future. Officer Alex J. Murphy and his partner Ann Lewis fight to rid the decaying city of the criminal element which infests it. After being mortally wounded in the line of duty, Officer Murphy is outfitted by OCP with bulletproof titanium robotic parts and with computer-enhanced motor and sensory capabilities. He has become the ultimate super cop, Robocop.
Bringing kids our Power Pack cereal.
Shout out, dudes.
It's Ninja Nets and Marshmallows, a Power Pack Crunch. Part of your balanced breakfast. Tastes great.
Oh, we crunch you. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereal.
Want to live under the streets and party like a turtle? Do it with this official Ninja Turtles movie poster.
Awesome.
It can be yours from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cereal.
Excellent.
This is the cereal, and this is the poster that'll turn your room into a sewer.
Will you be the one to witness the birth of the incredible Nintendo Entertainment System? The one to play with Rob, the extraordinary video robot, batteries not included. He helps you tackle even the toughest challenge. Will you be the first to raise the incredibly accurate Zapper and play games like Duck Hunt or action-packed Hogan's Alley and high-flying Kung Fu, each sold separately? Will you be the one to experience the Nintendo Entertainment System? Comes with Rob, Zapper, Control Deck, 2 controllers, Gyromite, and Duck Hunt.
That's right, it's William the Refrigerator Perry.
The fridge destroying G.I. Joe.
And you can get a free fridge. Here's how.
Collect 5 fridge certificates or call the number on the certificate and the fridge will tell you how to get in on the action with only 4 certificates. There's a $1 handling charge. See details on specially marked G.I. Joe packages.
Watch out, Cobra. Fridge is coming through.
Go, Joe!
Peter Sellers in The Return of the Pink Panther, 7:30 p.m. Tuesday on Channel 5.
Gee, you're all wet.
Defecting my plumbing. Lady, listen to me. I have deceived you. I am not Guy Gadbois. I am Inspector Clouseau of the Sûreté, and it is my painful duty to arrest you.
And now, back to our show.
So all those commercials did have something in common, except for the NES commercials. All those commercials are franchises that have been recently, I say recently loosely, but remade or rebooted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's no original ideas in Hollywood.
I know
anymore,
we've
no.
touched on this before.
Yep.
We've established it. They're just fresh out ideas, and like Jesse, you've said the banks are more willing to give out money.
Yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah. I think Lucas said that.
Oh, George Lucas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, was it? No, I'm sorry. It was Spielberg.
Oh,
Spielberg said, yeah, that they would rather just do a reboot and spend the money on that.
And that's sad that it's coming to that because
that's exactly why Spielberg remade West Side Story because why not?
Because you can get the funding for it.
We're giving them money to do it, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are certain movies like Peter Sellers in the Pink Panther. Have you guys ever seen those movies?
I seen that movie once, and it was way back in the day. I couldn't remember one thing. I couldn't even remember that one that you just showed there. I didn't remember that part. No.
Like Zod, have you seen any of the Pink Panther movies?
A long time ago,
Yeah.
in a galaxy far away.
So maybe that I just grew up watching those things, but I mean, those are some of the funniest movies I've ever seen. And right, yeah, I don't know if there's anybody else in the chat that is that familiar with them, but that was another one. They made a remake of it and a reboot, and you can't. I mean, the way Peter Sellers just captured that character, you just can't recreate it. I mean, Steve Martin is a great actor and all that in his own right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the remake of it, but
I
couldn't even stomach 5 minutes of it. It was like
I did see the remake.
Panther.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah, like I'll tell anybody, go back and watch those. Maybe not the first Pink Panther movie, because I think it was more serious. Then you started getting, because there was like 7 or
well, I mean, at
seven
least with Naked Gun, it's going to be a continuation. So
yeah, and that's kind of where I wanted to start with before we just totally bash everything, which is more fun. But some of these reboots, I mean, are there any that may be good? Like I said it a few weeks ago, like Happy Gilmore, the second Happy Gilmore. Is it going to be great? Probably not. But
well, like if you like, I'll give you an example. Like if you like the TV show from the 80s, 21 Jump Street, right?
Yeah.
You like that show. The movies they did, because they did 2. They did 1 and then they did a sequel. But the movies are actually canonically connected to the TV show.
Okay, and you're talking the recent ones with Channing Tatum and
yeah, they're connected to the TV show, to the, they're definitely more funny because that show was more drama than like comedy and stuff.
Yeah,
it's loosely connected and there's some ties to it. So that's kind of cool. When they do stuff like that, it's kind of neat because they, kind of make it a little more valuable.
The original one was only good because of Holly Robinson. It's the only reason why I watched it.
Amen, my friend. I couldn't agree with you more. Yes, sir.
That was the pulling part for me.
It's all, oh my God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, there's some other stuff like X-Men 97 was a good one that was done.
But X-Men 97, here's the thing with X-Men 97. X-Men 97, its purpose was to follow up the original series. So it did it correctly. It did what it was supposed to do. Yes.
No, it's not like when they reinvent the wheel, bring these characters back and pretend like this is the first time you've ever seen them. That's when it usually goes south.
Yeah, but I have to admit, anytime I see like a reboot come out, I cringe because I don't know. I don't like any of them that ever come out, really.
No, so that's kind of where I was at. Like, is there anything that has come out that has been any good? I mean, do you consider like the Batman and Superman movies? Are those? And I know it's a sensitive subject, bringing up Superman, but like, say, okay, what was it? Superman Returns. Would you consider that like a reboot?
No,
because that's again, it was kind of a continuation.
It's supposed to fit in with the Donner continuity of Superman 1 and 2. It forgets that Superman 3 and 4 exist, and it kind of creates its own timeline of.
I kind of was looking this up. It's reboots versus revivals. Mm-hmm. So reboots themselves, often they face a lot of criticism. People don't like them, but people tend to like revivals better. A continuation of a story is seen better than an actual reboot of a show. I
can see that. That's kind of like the point I guess we were just making, right?
Yeah, like when they did Starsky and Hutch. I mean, that was a disaster when they did with Owen Wilson.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a disaster.
Yeah, wasn't there a Dukes?
Oh, come on! You would watch Greatest American Hero with Owen Wilson. Come on!
Anything with Owen Wilson.
Ralph, he would be an awesome Ralph Hinckley. Give me a break.
I guess he would pull it off a little bit. Well, yeah, but that show was kind of, that was a silly show to begin with. I'm talking about when they reboot a really good movie. Like let's say today they said they're going to reboot Jaws.
Oh God!
I mean, that would be right. That would be sacrilegious.
That'd be career suicide. You might as well.
Exactly.
That's true, Jay. That's another one I forgot about. The A-Team.
Yeah, that movie was. God awful. And then the wow. I mean, and they got Liam Neeson to play Hannibal.
They did.
Oh,
and
I thought that was going to be. I thought that would be good. But
fighter was B.A. Baracus. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't the same. That's the thing. It just feels like it's not the same.
No.
Some of the remakes are better.
Well, didn't Bradley Cooper play? Didn't Bradley Cooper play Face?
Did. That's true. He was in that too.
Yeah.
Well, in a 2024 YouGov survey, 47% of Americans prefer to see fewer reboots of old movies. So there's a decline going on with reboots. So
probably a good thing because they're just not. I don't know. Yeah, I guess James Bond would be a good one that he keeps coming back. But those all seem like they're all pretty good though. I mean, that's not all in the same continuity, is it? Like all the different James Bonds, the versions of them.
Well, I kind of like Tom Cruise's Mission Impossibles too.
Yeah, those aren't.
Yeah.
Okay, if you know anything about Doctor Who, okay, you can kind of do something similar with James Bond. There's a theory out there that James Bond is a Time Lord, like Doctor Who, and he regenerates. You just don't see it on screen. So it's essentially that's why when you have a new actor playing James Bond, it's essentially the same character, but it's just he regenerated into a new body, a new person essentially. So that's there's kind of a running theory about James Bond. I don't know if I believe that, but it's kind of interesting because I do like the way that Doctor Who handles the changing of the actor.
Hey Jay, that's actually funny. When I went to see Jaws, my grandparents brought me to see that because my parents had to go to a wedding or something that day, and I remember I was a little thing, and I remember sitting on my grandmother's lap, and she kept her hands over my eyes because she thought it was too scary for me, but she was actually horrified herself, and it didn't bother me all too much because my parents had always brought me to horror movies since I'm a little baby.
you were numb by that point. Jaws, yeah, who cares? You ran right into the ocean after that. It didn't matter.
Yeah, it really didn't. It didn't bother. But I remember her being more scared of it and covering my eyes on it. And I remember her leaning over to my grandfather and saying, "I don't think this is good. I think we got to get the kids out of here."
How old did you say? How old you were? Did I miss that?
Oh God, I don't remember. I'd have to know when.
But young enough to where they thought that you were. It was.
Yeah, I was a little thing.
Too inappropriate for a young kid. Yeah, I don't know if when they start bringing, because James Bond seems like one of those franchises that's never going to go away. I mean, you can always make James Bond movies and they're going to be good. Once they made Moonraker. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. And that was always my favorite weapon in that GoldenEye game. I forgot the Moonraker, the laser.
Yeah.
So, and I guess they just released, was it Michael Keaton came back as Beetlejuice. So that again, that wouldn't obviously then wouldn't be a remake.
And they got plans for another one.
Oh, no kidding. There's going to be, have either of you seen that one yet?
I have.
Have you?
It's okay. I didn't think it was great, but it was okay.
I guess the Beetlejuice was more of a revival than a reboot.
Well, yeah,
because it was a continuation.
Yeah, it wasn't a reboot. It was a sequel.
Yeah.
And it was the same director. It was Tim Burton. He came back and did it. And he's allegedly going to do the third one too, so.
Oh, Connery's always the one that he's always at least the James Bond that I think of when I think of James Bond. What about you guys? You think Sean Connery? Who was the other? Roger Moore.
I like Connery, but I also like Moore. I like Timothy Dalton. I like Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, I thought Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, I thought Pierce Brosnan did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I thought they were all pretty good, really, to be honest.
Henry Cavill would make a good James Bond.
Well, the rumor is that Henry Cavill is up for the role. It's possible, but Henry Cavill has a lot of projects in the pipeline, so it'll be interesting to see if they get him for James Bond. It would be nice. I'd be happy with that. He'd be the first actor ever to play both Superman and James Bond. That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good resume to have, I guess, right? Because despite what a lot of people say, I liked him as Superman.
I liked him.
I love him as Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
he nailed everything about it. I was disappointed when I found out he wasn't going to be Superman anymore.
I mean, nobody could be Christopher Reeve, but
no, right,
but he's like the next. I feel like he's like the next best thing, like you know, out of everybody, because he like embodies what the character is supposed to look like.
Exactly.
I mean, it's crazy.
Before we start trashing everything, there's one more question I wanted to ask both of you. So, speaking of, in the terms of remakes or reboots or revivals, is there anything out there? In a perfect world, if you knew they were going to do it exactly right in the way it should be done, is there anything you would like to see brought back that they haven't done yet?
Oh yeah, Debbie does. No, never mind.
Oh my God! Were you about to say Debbie does dishes?
Yes, I was. How'd you know that?
I could read your mind.
It was awesome, that show.
Because you got to think, with AI being as good as it is, and these deep fakes and all that, like. And I know maybe you're crossing the line a little bit, but you could bring back actors from way back when that have been long dead.
That's what's going to happen. That's what you saw how James Earl Jones gave his likeness and voice to AI so that they could use Darth Vader from now till the end of time.
Yeah,
so
and that's awesome that they've done that. And I've seen videos where they have used AI to bring back his old voice, because the Rogue One, that was, he was in his 90s at that point, and he didn't quite sound exactly like Darth Vader.
I don't know why you wouldn't, because at least you'll be able to have your family benefit from it. I'm sure it's in
Darth Vader would be, it would be insane not to.
Yeah.
And I
why
guess
wouldn't
he
you?
gave them. I guess he gave them the rights for his, for his Lion King character too, and some other characters that he's played over time. So,
good G.I. Joe movie. That was going to be on my list of kind of bad. I don't know. I didn't really.
Man, I'll tell you guys. I had like the dopest idea for a G.I. Joe movie that's been in the back of my head for years, and it would just be and I always was thinking maybe you get the guy from Starship Troopers, Casper Van Dien, to play Duke, and you have it be this whole like counterterrorism kind of story where the evil Cobra commander is literally hiding in like a cave, and he's hiding in a hole like Saddam Hussein, and they're trying to go after him. I don't know. Maybe it's a movie that I'll make when I get done, when I get another project. But I'm like thinking, I got this G.I. Joe movie in my head that
you've been thinking about that one for a little while.
I want to see happen. Yeah, like it's.
Yeah, because I don't think they did justice to the G.I. Joe characters in
those
movies at all. I didn't like how they portrayed Destro or Cobra Commander. Like, those were two of my favorite villains growing up, and I'm like, I don't know, even Duke, I'm like, that's not really what I was picturing. But this one here, I don't know about this one. Redo Back to the Future. I know that's always when you start talking about this.
That's almost taboo.
Sacrilegious almost.
We won't get it till Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale are dead.
I do like the idea of the Cybertruck, though.
Actually, I never thought of it, but it has
a
very appropriate look.
Yep.
But I don't know. Like, are they gonna? I mean, clearly you couldn't bring Michael J. Fox back for that, right? Like,
You could.
I don't think so.
With AI and deep fake technology,
you would need. And
then if you're going to do that, you might as well just make Back to the Future 4.
Right. I mean, and that's a shame, because if he was in a better, I guess, physical condition, you probably could do it, while Christopher Lloyd is still alive. But
well, yeah, because Christopher Lloyd is an old man, but he's always played an old man. Doc was an old man back in those movies.
Now, you make him look exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if Michael J. Fox could pull it off. I don't know.
Yeah,
I seen him not too long ago. God,
not now.
It's sad to look at.
It is pretty sad. Maybe that's one that they should probably just
leave alone.
They'll eventually remake it. They'll eventually remake it. Eventually.
Or the original directors and stuff. Are they still alive? Zemeckis, is he still alive?
They're still around. But that's the thing. While they're alive, the studios contractually cannot. But once they're dead, I bet they'll be away. The studio will.
They'll be sitting there watching his monitor.
Milk it. Yeah.
And then when it starts flatlining, all right, let's go, guys.
Oh my God, that's dark.
All right, it's Back to the Future.
I wouldn't put it past them at all.
But that's Hollywood.
It is
right?
very much so.
Waiting for him to die.
Yeah, waiting for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I always said for a Back to the Future 4, if they really wanted to do a sequel now, the way to do it would have it take place in a different timeline, and you bring back Eric Stoltz, the original Marty McFly, to come back and play an alternate universe version of Marty, and you tell the story in an alternate timeline, but he's much older. And you have it in it from a different perspective.
I like that. You bring Crispin Glover back, as George McFly,
right? And you basically just like turn it on its head.
Well, isn't Glover like soured from that movie though?
Well, he has a lot of Crispin Glover has a lot of issues with Zemeckis and Dale over that movie. But I for one think if you were to get you would earn some street credit by bringing in like bringing Eric Stoltz in and having him be Marty McFly at this point. And you could bring back Christopher Lloyd and you could tie it all up as like a multiverse kind of story in the Back to the Future universe. And I think that would be a lot of fun. But they probably wouldn't attempt to do anything like that until like, say, Michael J. Fox passes on.
More than likely, yeah.
In respect to him, you probably would never see anything like that until.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't feel right if he wasn't involved somehow.
Right.
And if he was alive, like if he was passed, then you could
But right now, the best he could probably do would be like a cameo. So you would almost have to have it where it would be like a cameo in the original timeline, and you'd see Michael J. Fox, and you'd have a scene between Michael J. Fox and Doc, and then it would take place in the alternate timeline for the rest of it with Eric Stoltz. So I could see that. I could see them doing something like that. That would be kind of cool. That'd be a way to do it. Back to the Future 4.
And that's the beauty about it. It's a movie based on time travel, so
there's
a lot of ways you can explain why people look the way they look.
And then also because
timelines, and it's just never ending.
And also because the multiple realities theory is so popular now, and so in science and all that, and quantum mechanics and all that. So now because you have that, you could incorporate all that into a new Back to the Future, and it would be really cool. But I mean, they would have to be creative about it. You couldn't just come out and do a Back to the Future 4. You'd have to have a story.
Right.
You'd have to have a good story, and I think you could.
To do it?
Yeah, it would be awesome.
I don't know. Who was in charge? Because that would be another like. Do we want to take that chance of them soiling on Back to the Future's legacy?
Yeah, if it was done right, it would be great. But if they ruined it,
then it'd be like anything else. It'd be like Star Wars. It'd be like Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Down the list of many movie franchises: Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe. of all the crap ones. When speaking of crap ones, here's a list of 17 really awful remakes that Hollywood gave us that literally no one asked for. And some of these I haven't seen, and I didn't even know they remade them, but curious if you guys... The first one on the list is Point Break. Did you know they remade Point Break? Did I miss something here?
I was aware of it, but I never watched the remake.
Never seen it.
Apparently, it's not getting a lot of love. It's number 1 on the list, so... But I did not know that they had remade it. And that's probably a good thing. Number 2 was Total Recall, which I totally forgot that they remade.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's the Colin, Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
I didn't see the remake. I seen the original.
Yeah, I don't think I did see the remake. I don't think I didn't really want to.
And it's nowhere near. It's nowhere near as good as the original. I mean, it's not even close.
You can't cast somebody else in an Arnold Schwarzenegger role and expect it to live up. You know. Yeah, that's... You love the original. Like, why do you gotta... There's no need for something like that. But I guess that's what they said. No, literally nobody asked for it. 3, Ghostbusters.
Oh,
what a
my
surprise.
Lord.
And, I mean, you might even be able to go as far as the 2 newer Ghostbuster sequels that were much better than this. It's still nothing to me can capture the magic that the original film had back in the day, you know. Karate Kid. What about that one? Did anybody see the remake of that?
Well, I did. Well, it's not even really a remake anymore, because now you can, because now it's part of the lore because of the new Karate Kid movie with Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio. So this movie is actually part of Karate Kid lore. It's not actually a remake. It's part of the canon. It's in continuity canon. Yeah.
So have you seen it, Zod?
Yeah.
And I've seen. Do you remember? Was it okay? Like, do you remember being?
It's fine.
Fine with it at the time.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not bad. It fits in with continuity. It doesn't do anything to, tarnish the original Karate Kid continuity. So it's fine. So they were able to fit it in now with all the rest of the stuff that they've been doing with Cobra Kai and now the new Karate Kid Legends movie that ties in with everything. Yeah.
Yep. That's what Mike's saying too. The Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Karate Kid multiverse.
Well, it's not a multiverse. It's the same universe. Same everything.
What about Red Dawn? I don't think I've ever even seen the original Red Dawn.
The original was great with Patrick Swayze. I never watched the new one.
Yeah, never didn't know they remade the new one. White Men Can't Jump. Didn't know they made a remake of that.
Didn't even know they made a remake of that.
No, I
had no idea. Had no idea.
I don't think anybody knew.
I saw the original.
Why would that even be necessary to remake it?
That's what it says right here. You don't F with Wesley Snipes movies. That's right. This one surprised me a little bit. The Wicker Man.
Oh yeah, I knew they remade that. Didn't they remake that with Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, it was like Nicolas Cage. I forgot about it. Yep. But I didn't know that the original was so highly regarded.
I've never seen either one.
Neither have I.
You never seen The Wicker Man, Jesse?
No.
Oh,
am I missing out?
Watch the 1973 version, The Wicker Man, bro.
All right.
Yes, sir. It's good. It's good. It's a good one.
No, I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Not the remake.
All right, I'll put that on the list.
Was unfamiliar with Flatliners. You guys ever seen Flatliners?
The original.
The original's good.
I know what that is. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
It's a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, it got a remake in 2017.
Didn't even know.
No, I didn't know that either.
Comment is generally the worst movie I've ever seen. So incredibly stupid. Kind of sums up a lot, huh?
Wow.
This one, Planet of the Apes.
Well,
I don't know. I
yeah,
actually I remember seeing the Planet of the Apes remake. I don't know. I thought it was.
I
pretty
like
good.
the Planet of the Apes. That's the Tim Burton remake.
Yeah.
The one from 2001 with Mark Wahlberg. I actually liked it. I thought it was good.
Well, I was obsessed with the original. Every time that came on when I was a little kid, we used to have a TV in the living room, so I would always ask. It would always come on during dinner time. I remember this, and I would always ask my parents, "Can I just eat in the living room to watch Planet of the Apes?" And I loved that movie. I got into makeup because of that movie. Ben Nye was the makeup artist on the original. Yeah, so
that's what started it.
That's what started it. Planet of the Apes. Yep. Yeah. So I have a connection with the original. So when they made the newer one, I was kind of let down on the CGI kind of bit and all that.
Well, yeah, that was way before CGI was.
Yeah,
anywhere
it was still good. It was still good, and
but it was
there's a Charlton Heston cameo in it. So I mean,
it was good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mind the movie, but the original just has a special place.
Oh yeah, you gotta love the original. For sure. You know, did you see the original?
Oh yeah, and I'll take that.
Did you see the unreleased? Did you see the unreleased Twilight Zone version that Rod Serling did? The original, the never before seen lost episode of the Twilight Zone.
No.
Track that down if you can, Jesse. You won't be disappointed.
All right, I'll put that on the list. Let me write that down.
Yeah, and they're still making Planet of the Apes movies, aren't they?
Oh yeah. They're
wasn't there one that just came out a few years ago?
I think there was one that came out like last year, isn't it? Last year or the year before?
Maybe like Rise of the Planet of the Apes or something.
Something
like that, or my way.
Well, there was.
That's one I would say maybe doesn't quite.
Well, there was Battle for the Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That was the originals.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Oh. Here's another classic, Poltergeist, which I don't think I knew they made a remake of this one.
Oh yeah, I remember when they
I do know they made it.
I didn't watch it. No.
You haven't seen it?
No.
I feel like it just wouldn't be the same.
No.
This one here, I wasn't interested.
I still feel bad for that little girl. She died not long after that.
That right. One was right. That was I still can't believe that happened. That 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, that was
oh my god,
atrocious.
Jackie Earl Haley. Jackie Earl Haley is an excellent. He's an excellent actor. He's an excellent actor, but my God,
it was atrocious.
How do you replace Robert Englund with? How do you do that? Like like you can't do that.
No,
unless, and I've seen fan versions of Nightmare on Elm Street that do better versions of Robert Englund than this guy did.
And I don't even know what they were going for with the makeup. It was just hideous. No. It was horrible.
They're trying to go for a more realistic burn.
Yeah, but
they just messed it up.
It just messed it. It was horrible.
I don't know. Like that's far more creepier to me.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you just can't do better than Robert Englund.
The original look of Freddy. I don't know. I didn't want. Nope.
I mean, those are classics. You just,
Yeah, this is another one here. Right. This is a Tim Burton Johnny Depp movie. What do you guys think of the original? Or okay, so we'll say the original and then the remake of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
And then there was another one. They just did another one with Timothy Chalamet last year.
Yeah, they did.
Which is closer. Which is I think it's a prequel to the Gene Wilder one from the 70s. It's a prequel. It's pretty okay. It wasn't bad.
Is it?
Definitely better than the Tim Burton remake.
Yeah, I kind of like the original one better.
Did we need a prequel for?
Yeah,
it was surprising to me that I liked it as much as I did. This is weird. Yeah, well, Johnny Depp was going for a Michael Jackson impression.
Yes, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, he was.
I didn't hear that, but that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, kind of that more eccentric kind of,
This one I had no clue about. Old Boy. What the hell is an Old Boy?
Oh yeah, Old Boy. Well, the 2003 version is a Korean classic, okay, and the 2013 remake was made by Spike Lee, and it's just a complete bastardization of the original work. And so if you're curious about Old Boy, it's a masterpiece, but watch the 2003 version. Don't watch the 2013 version.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. Jesse, have you ever heard of Old Boy?
Not one. Nope.
Oh my God!
All right, so here's one.
Yeah.
Good one.
The less said about this, the better.
Yeah.
Like for real, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, they took RoboCop and watered him down into a PG-13, family-friendly, crowd-pleasing. Like I don't know how.
I remember being excited about this whenever when it was being hyped up in 2014.
My dad,
I
went to the theaters with my dad to watch the 2014 RoboCop, and it was just like.
That's not what. That
Talk about urinating on your childhood. I mean, my God, I was like, what am I? What is this?
Yeah, I was excited about it. I will admit, and I thought it was going to be great. But that was before I knew. Like I was excited for Ninja Turtles too.
That screenshot is painful. I mean, you're just like,
I like Jay's comment. Yes.
It looks like a Starship Trooper.
I wouldn't buy that for $1.
Hell no. Hell no. Oh God, it was awful. Like you can't do that. You can't water down RoboCop. And I mean, the cartoon did a better job at like
it did, but
capturing RoboCop.
Yeah, it was geared towards children, so you obviously expected it was going to be toned down a lot.
But it did a better job at telling the story than this movie did. This remake.
Look, he still even looked better in '87 than he did in 2014.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no excuse for 2014 RoboCop. Sorry.
No.
Oh God, garbage.
This one here, Lion King. I mean, we could probably lump Snow White and Little Mermaid and all these new Disney remakes together.
Yeah.
These
Aladdin,
live action.
Aladdin, where you got Will Smith singing as the genie. For God's sake, give me.
That.
I mean, how do you do that? Like that is so just. Oh God.
For the love of God.
It's so terrible. It's like taking
epically failed with each one of these live.
Spare us, please.
So terrible. It's just like god awful.
Yeah. And it's Disney, and they have endless funds, and they're going to keep doing it.
Keep my wife's
They're just going to continue to.
Oh
yeah.
Now that would have been great to see him as the genie, and he could have slapped somebody.
Yeah, right, Chris Rock could have been in it too.
It'll never be topped. You are right.
Oh man,
Hollywood can't do it. It could be topped, but it's not gonna be topped because Hollywood has no way of doing it. They're terrible. Oh God.
That's the thing with a lot of these. They probably could top the movie, the original, but they just can't. I don't know. Especially with these Disney movies. I mean, that they're just pushing their agenda throughout the whole entire thing, and that's painfully obvious. And I think that partially ruins it.
I don't think Will Smith has come back from that yet, has he? That whole slap thing?
No.
I purposely.
What's he been in recently? Where's Will Smith been recently?
They should play that.
They
should play that thing that they always say. That was the moment that he knew he effed up.
Yeah, that was exactly it. Keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah, this is the moment he knew he effed up.
How about Ben-Hur? I didn't know they made a remake of this one.
I didn't either.
I ignored it. I knew about it, but I didn't pay any attention.
I mean,
to
Ben-Hur, my God, that's on that could be on like the Mount Rushmore of movies almost.
I remember my dad making me watch Ben-Hur. I didn't have any interest in it. My dad made me watch it. My dad made me watch all the old movies.
Ago. Yeah, I remember seeing it a lot in the 80s. Never in its entirety. Probably because my dad was watching it, you know?
Yeah.
But they made a remake in 2016. I guess if we haven't heard of half of these remakes, that's probably a telling sign.
That's telling, yep.
Mm-hmm. And what's the last one? Psycho.
Oh, good Lord.
Nobody
I don't remember
asked
that. 1998.
Yeah, the Psycho. That's like a shot-for-shot remake of the original. They didn't do anything unique about it. It was just
nothing original.
All they did was replace the actors. It was terrible.
Did any of you ever hear of what they used for the blood in the original?
Didn't they use ketchup packets?
They used Hershey syrup.
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah. So when you're watching Janet Leigh in there, that's Hershey syrup going down the drain.
Way.
Yeah.
Huh. And then nothing added to it. It just kind of
just Hershey syrup because it was in black and white, so it looked like blood.
Yeah, they could get away with it.
Yep.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it. Oh, that was the list from wherever the hell this was from. Yahoo or something. Yahoo. I'm sorry. So all of them.
Fridge?
I don't think we were really impressed with any of them. Huh?
None.
Yeah, what's up, David Fridge?
Robocop 2014. My God.
Yeah, dude, I was seriously excited about that. 'Cause I am a big Robocop fan, and I remember me and my wife watching that.
So you were let down for sure.
Very let down. She didn't. She's like, I wasn't that bad. I'm like, yeah, because you didn't watch the original. Like
right, because if you didn't watch the original, if you didn't watch the original, you could probably like it and think it was okay. But if you didn't watch the original, you're livid.
Like, the bar was set way too high. Like Sayin said with the Ninja Turtles movie, that original 1990 Jim Henson Ninja Turtles movie was so good, and they nailed everything that I don't think anything else is ever going to be able to top it.
No.
Roadhouse.
I have to go with the original.
I gotta go with the Swayze original.
And I've never seen the remake.
I mean, did you guys know that they made a Roadhouse 2? They made an actual sequel with the that's an actual direct sequel to the Swayze version with another actor as the son of Swayze's character.
No, I didn't. And those kind of things don't usually work too well, like they did with Dumb and Dumber. You know, like just what was it? They made the Dumber and Dumber or something, but they didn't have Jeff Daniels or Jim Carrey in the movie at all.
Right, they made a prequel where
they brought them back 30 years later, as they tend to do. It seems like 30 is like the magic number.
I mean, they were the only reason that movie worked.
That's exactly it.
It's the only reason that movie worked.
Surge, if they remake La Bamba, there'll probably be riots in the streets because that's another movie that does not need to be remade. I don't know what they're thinking about, why they need to make a new one. How do you remake perfection? Why do people like that's the kind of thing that like it's like Mike was saying about the Ninja Turtles movie. It's like you're not going to be able to top it. So why bother?
Yep. I mean, at least the Ninja Turtles, it's not, Seth Rogen is doing his thing, but those was not impressed with that at all.
It's just a quick money grab. That's all it is.
That's all it is at this point.
That's all it is.
Maybe like young kids, maybe they'll be appealing to them.
Well, I often think that, like, who are they going for? Are they going for the people who watch the original? Or are they going for a new audience? Because most of the time, the people who watch the original are not going to like it.
No.
And I don't know if the newer people is even going to care to see it. I don't know.
I don't know. That's the thing. If you're alienating the main
your original fan base,
with Star Wars and Ghostbusters,
Yeah. I don't know.
In a second. Well, guys, I think I do have to get this thing wrapped up. I'm a single dad this weekend. My wife is away. Oh, shh, don't say that on. My son did not say he wants to play Grand Theft Auto, I swear.
Oh.
We are not, because mom's away for the weekend. She's at some spa with her friends for her friend's 40th birthday. So
soiling the brain of the young kids.
Yeah, we stayed up late last night we watched Minecraft. That's the movie we were watching last night.
Well, you know what you know what you're watching tonight now. Robocop 1987.
Oh, I don't know if he's I might have to skip if we skip through
the
beginning
shotgun parts. Yeah.
That I remember being scarred as a child seeing that.
Oh yeah, we all were. We were all scarred for life by Robocop. God, but it's a rite of passage. It makes you a man.
And you see what he gets turned into. You're almost like, man, would I go through all that if I could become Robocop? Like you consider it. You're like, it might be worth it.
Wouldn't consider it.
Oh, I've been playing the game actually. Finally.
Did you?
Yeah.
Awesome?
I'm halfway there.
I was hyping it up?
Yes, I love it. Yep.
Yes. That was one of those games where I was very upset that when it ended.
Yeah, I'm halfway through it.
Oh, you mean the original RoboCop arcade game?
No. The new remake.
What do you mean the new? Oh! I know what you're talking about. The Rogue City.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fun one. That is a fun one. Yes.
Once you get done, Jesse, I believe there's going to be some DLC that's coming out and
awesome.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
So
cool.
So
that's something we all have in common. All three of us have played that game for sure.
Yep. Oh yeah, Saturday night main event. That's cool that they're keeping the 80s theme with the wrestling.
Rogue City, yes.
Yep. It was. Did you get it for free, Jesse, or did you have to buy it?
I got it for free.
Did you? Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. That's. I wanted to buy it outright whenever it first came out, and
the moment you mentioned it, I went right on to see if it was there, and it was still there.
Oh, can't beat that. It's amazing game, and it's free, so that's the best of both worlds.
Yep.
Yeah, the arcade version is pretty good too.
Yeah, it is. It still holds up.
Yeah, that's the only thing saying. I know it pained me not to have the physical copy. Maybe I'll wait in like 2 years, and then I'll find a used one, and for like $15, just so I can have the physical copy. But free is free, so I'm not gonna not get it.
Yeah.
But yep, I think my son, he wants to go out and do something. I promised him we would fly his drone today. I know he wants to play Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, nice.
We got a drone for Christmas that we still haven't taken out of the box yet.
Oh, awesome. I used to play it. I used to fly it a lot. I had a Mavic Pro. But
I couldn't even tell you what this one is. I don't know. Maybe we'll go try to find that where that fox den is at. And
yeah.
buzz around them a little bit. But yep, I think that's good for this week, guys. And appreciate everybody in the chat showing up. And
good to see everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, and
no problem.
If all goes well, we'll be back in 2 weeks. So
yeah.
Until then, I guess everybody take care, and we will see you
next time. Have a good Memorial Day weekend too.
Yeah, long weekend.
Yeah.
We didn't even touch on that. That's right.
Yep.
Forgot about that long weekend. So
yeah,
have fun.
So enjoy.
Everybody. Yep,
all right,
enjoy
everyone.
it. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.